Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to the Finders Keep. I'm so excited that you guys are coming on this journey with me. My name is Dane Reed. I'm author of The Last Will and Testament of the Incredible Mr. Rutland, Quincy, Sherwood. We have a bunch of fun things happening every Friday, Saturday at the Finders Keep. Most importantly, we're going to be casting the roles for the characters in the book. We've already casted Arthur Sherwood last week, and we did the directors as well, who I would love to see direct the film if it was ever made into a movie for the full trilogy. But even we might just do individual books as individual directors and stuff like that, which will be a ton of fun, and we'll dive more into that. But today, for The Last Will and Testament of the Incredible Mr. Rutland, Quincy, Sherwood, we are casting the incredible Mr. Rutland, Quincy, Sherwood. But before we jump into that, if you haven't pre-ordered your copy, go do so. It's so easy. You can go to thefinderskeep.com and click the Book Baby bookstore link. If you order it from Book Baby, you'll get it before the 9/8/20 release date. That's September 8th, 2020. That's my dad's birthday. That's why I'm releasing it on 9/8/2020. A little shout out to Pops. And so with that, we're going to be jumping into casting Mr. Rutland, Quincy, Sherwood. But if you stay for after the video, my wife will be joining me, and we're going to tell you the story of not just how we met, but how I proposed to her. And if you continue to post credits of this video, you'll be able to see the movie or short film that my friend Dave helped me put together, and we surprised her with it. And I wrote it and composed the music for it. And yeah, so you're going to be checking that out, and you'll be able to meet my wife, Nina. But if you buy my book, that will make my wife really happy. But yeah, so Amazon, Barnes & Noble, everywhere books are sold, 9/8/2020. Get yourself a copy. Scenery change. Hi. Yeah, welcome back. This is my wife, Nina.
Hi.
And like promised, I told you, we will tell you our story of how we met, which I hold a very different story. But then at the end of the video, after we're done casting the role of Rutland, Quincy, Sherwood, which she's going to give her opinions on my choices, which any husband knows that could be good or bad. But my wife's a darling, so I think it'll be fantastic. Yeah, so we met probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And we got married rather quickly. It was love at first sight. Actually, I was at a coffee bar at church, and she said hi to me, and I totally ran away. But I'll tell you what, she'll tell you that I never asked her out officially. I'll say that I allowed her to ask me out. If that, maybe she even paid for it. I don't remember. I don't know anything. But yeah, so fast forward a few years, we have a baby boy named Amos, who is just a doll, and he's just the coolest kid on the face of the earth. And then in November, baby Micah will be joining our tribe, and we're super excited about that. And so, so Doctor Strange, yeah, that was our first little movie date. Yeah, what happened? How'd that come about?
You stated the fact that Doctor Strange was playing at 7:45, and that was it.
Yeah, so I texted her that Doctor Strange was just playing at 7:45. Never had a question. Never said, "Hey, you want to go?" No.
I was like, "Cool, want to go?" And you were like, "Sure, that'd be fun."
Yeah, and then she had free tickets to go, so she technically asked me out. But if you stay to the end of the video, I'm actually going to have how I proposed to my now wife. The video is going to play. My friend Dave and I, we concocted a plan and tricked her into a day in New York City, which was freezing cold that day, to film a short movie that I composed and overdubbed a beautiful, proposal to. And then that same movie theater that we went to, I had it playing on the big screen right before a movie that we were going to go see, that I tricked her into going to the movie theater. It was the weekend of one of my birthdays, and yeah, she didn't know it was coming, and we got the movie to play on big screen. But you'll be able to see the film at the end of it. Grab your tissues, you're going to need it. But anyways, we're going to jump right in. She's going to judge my picks for The Last Will and Testament of the Incredible Mr. Rutland, Quincy, Sherwood casting, Rutland, Quincy, Sherwood. And I'm going to kick it off with number one. It's not number one of who I would want, but there's no particular order. But number one, he's just the guy that's currently at the top of the list, and that's Jude Law. You know Jude Law from Sherlock Holmes films opposite Robert Downey Jr. he was also in The Holiday, one of my favorite movies, co-starring Jack Black and a couple other people.
I agree. That would be a good.
You like The
Rutland.
Holiday? Yeah, you like him as Rutland. And he was
Yeah.
also in The Young Pope in 2016, and I think they're making a new one called The New Pope in 2020. Yeah, Jude Law, pretty good. You know, he's got a little bit of pizzazz to him. He's got some magic to him. I loved him as Watson and Sherlock Holmes. He was just the perfect counterbalance for Robert Downey Jr. And so that's why I put him on the list to possibly play Rutland Quincy Sherwood. Next up on the list, he just starred in one of my favorite movies, probably because Winnie the Pooh was one of my favorite books as a kid, but that's Ewan McGregor, and he is in Christopher Robin. Most people know him from the Star Wars prequels as Obi-Wan, and he was also in Big Fish, which I know she's a huge fan of the movie Big Fish. I could see him playing it because he does have that mystical quality about him, but he's also super down to earth, and he's kind of ageless. Like nobody can really pinpoint his age, and you're gonna see a couple actors on this list where people are gonna be like, I don't know if that guy's in his 50s, his 40s, his 60s, his 30s, and so that's kind of what Rutland is. Nobody can put a date on his age, and he's kind of whimsical and he's kind of fun. And affluent. And then next up on the list is a man who needs no introduction. He was the greatest showman. He was a magician in The Prestige, and he was also Wolverine, or he is Wolverine. He'll always be Wolverine. I don't know if we'll ever find a better Wolverine. He also owns Laughing Man Coffee, which is phenomenal coffee. If you ever get a chance to have some. I've never had any, neither has Nina, but we got to check it out. But that's Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman, obviously, he needs no introduction. He's Hugh Jackman. Like, I mean, my gosh, the man is just phenomenal. Everything. He was also in Les Mis. He's done some stage shows and stuff like that as well. But yeah, he brings it in everything he does. And also, he's one of those guys. I don't know. Is he 40? Is he in his 30s? Is he 50? He's got to be at least. I would say maybe close to 50, but you can never tell because the dude is jacked in everything that he does. But I loved him in The Greatest Showman. I thought he showed this wonderful, just his entertaining side, his theater side, and I think Rutland's probably has some of those whimsical, weird, fun qualities that Hugh Jackman would knock out the park. Next up on the list, I don't know if my wife knows who this actor is. I don't even know if he's been taking parts as he wants to because he's earned it, but he's been in The Gangs of New York, My Left Foot in 1989, and he was up for an Academy Award for Lincoln, which was Steven Spielberg's biopic on Lincoln, and There Will Be Blood. He gave a fantastic performance, and that is Daniel Day-Lewis. I just think he has a quality about him that would just lend his hand to the mystery of Rutland Quincy Sherwood. But again, that's a high ask to have Daniel Day-Lewis in a franchise type film situation. Next up is another one of my favorites. That's Luke Evans. He was Gaston in Beauty and the Beast. He was Bard in the Hobbit movies. We love to watch Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit every year, and he was Aramis in Three Musketeers. What do you think of that? You remember Gaston from the live action Beauty and the Beast at all? He's kind of.
Can't really put a
He's got good bravado. He's got that gusto that you would want for Rutland Quincy Sherwood. He's on the younger side of the actors up on the board. And then finally, last but not least, I picked this guy out because I think he is not a long shot. Oh,
I think I know who it is.
You think you know who Luke Evans is, or the next guy?
No, the other guy.
The next guy up?
Yeah, who you're talking about.
Oh, who I'm talking about right now. So the next guy up, I think he would be just amazing. He was in the Percy Jackson film, The Lightning Thief, but he's better known for James Bond, and if anybody's played GoldenEye growing up, James Bond that's the best video game first-person shooter ever created. But he was also opposite Robin Williams in Mrs. Doubtfire, and that is Pierce Brosnan. I think Pierce Brosnan would be fantastic because you never really get to hear him. You know, he does very, very funny roles. And, you know, Rutland does have some charm to him and some comedy to him and some wisdom to him. And just Google Pierce Brosnan with a beard. Fantastic beard. It's a wonderful, whimsical, magical beard. I know my wife's probably like, why did you have me in this video? I don't really watch movies. I don't really like movies. But I really love you, and she supports me, and that's why she's sitting right here next to me. And so there's my pick for Rutland, Quincy, Sherwood. Jude Law, Ewan McGregor, Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman, man. If you don't know who Hugh Jackman is, you're probably a fan of Ryan Reynolds. Daniel Day-Lewis, I mean, he's just the dude. He transforms in every role that he's in. Luke Evans, again, man, Gaston, Bard in the Hobbit films, and Aramis and Three Musketeers. But Pierce Brosnan, I mean, that would be a fun time. And a couple of shout outs I think would also be great. I think Sam Neill, from Jurassic Park, Raptor Claw, the doctor, the paleontologist. He was also in Taika Waititi's film The Hunt for the Wilder People, as well as a few other things. I think he would also make a fantastic Rutland, Quincy, Sherwood, and from that front, I think we have a pretty solid list here. Now, the moment you've been waiting for, just stay tuned, keep in your seat, grab your tissues, grab some popcorn.
Then the Lord God said, "It is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him." Genesis 2, verse 18. I used to wonder how people knew that they had met the one, then our paths crossed. I caught a glimpse of heaven in your eyes and my heart in your smile. It was like God knew how much I loved gazing upon a starry sky, so he placed every galaxy inside your eyes. Or how I could stay up until the sunrise, so he laid every morning sky within your smile, that the first fragrance of spring would bring me such peace, and with that your scent of every rose wild and free. Like the waves rolling onto the shore, soothing, he shaped your every curve. And the mountains splashed against the horizon, a perfect fit, your hand in mine. It was as if God knew I was so prone to wander that he filled your laughter with his joy so that I could find my way home. So with that, I love you like the stars need their place in the sky, and the sun needs the night for it to rise, and the flowers need the open field to run wild, and the waves need the shore to find peace, or where the mountains and the horizons finally meet. And so, it was when I heard your laughter, I knew I was home. Because home isn't a physical dwelling, but a connection to another soul, so that no matter how far away we go, we will always belong, we will always know that our place on this earth is a momentary glitch in a far greater plan, that it is by his grace and love to hold that I stand before you, an imperfect man. I may not be able to give you the world, but I promise you, you will never have to face it alone. For you and I were designed for such a time as this, fearfully and wonderfully made that we take courage in troubled times and step out in faith as God saw it fit. Throughout all the ages that you and I would share this moment, this life, not to be a part of two, but one soul aligned for God's purpose set aside in Christ, so that we may seek that which is ours to find, remain humble as to uplift one another into the calling God has placed on our life, to love unconditionally and serve without a return in need, to be a blessing as he has surely blessed thee. The heart of a man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. Proverbs 16, verse 9. As I look back through every step, past or present, that has led us to the precipice of our very need to find home in another person, I remain without question that you are my human. The psalmist wrote to delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. The happiness we bring to one another is unparalleled to any earthly encounter, as long as we remember that our joy comes from the Lord who gives us strength. For it is his love that God placed inside of me for you and you for I, a love that is patient, a love that is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, and it keeps no record of wrongs. A love that always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. Love never fails. So my love, I don't ask simply to grow old with you, but to grow weird and wonderful, as it has been our very unique sense of life that made our worlds collide. And when we look back years down the road, they'll ask us how we got here, and we'll say, we drove.